Okay, episode 3. Here we go. Been looking forward to this one. Well, technically, I guess it's episode 3, take 2, because of my notoriously bad Wi-Fi that cut out halfway through the first time. So first of all, thank you for coming back, Lydia, for this episode to record it. So I am joined today by Lydia Halliwell. Super excited for this because you are an absolute whirlwind of energy, knowledge, motivation, everything. So thank you for coming onto the podcast. Welcome to the episode.
Thank you very much, Mammy. Pleasure to be here.
So for those who don't know you, who don't know your background, you just want to give a bit of a brief introduction into yourself, how you got to where you are and what you do now.
Yeah, so obviously my name's Lydia Halliwell, 29 years old. Been in the industry for, I'm going to say 5.5, 6 years. So yeah, like a good time to be in the industry. I'd say everything kind of got more serious about 3 years ago in terms of training, nutrition, and my work itself. Everything kind of like leveled itself up, because I first started just off in just a backstreet gym, gyms that you wouldn't go to anyway. But I started off in a backstreet gym, and then he just saw something in me, and he was just like, "Listen, I run an only women's gym. Do you want to go run it?" I was like, "Yeah, go on. I'll give it a good shot." Like, I was only like 23, I think, at the time, or whatever it was. So I was just like, "Go run a gym. It's what you want to do."
As you do.
Yeah.
How hard can it be?
How hard can it be? So I started running that gym, and it was good. It was nice, you know. It was so it was in Blackburn, actually. So it was Asian orientated. So there was only so much that, you know, they could actually physically do and what have you. And the majority of the gym was actually cardio, until obviously I started to go, I think you should get more equipment in. And looking back now, that equipment was unreal. You know, when you look back and you think, you just like, as I was like 23, didn't know the difference between, or 20, whatever it was, I didn't know the difference between Nautilus Prime or Life Fitness or anything. Looking back now, I remember thinking, yeah, didn't know the difference. Now looking back, I'm like, that was fucking good equipment.
Yeah,
that
had it good really there. Should have made more use.
Like really good equipment. Yeah, I definitely could have got more use out of it. So yeah, and then it was there. I was charging £10 an hour, but I had to give £5 to the people who actually owned it. So I was technically charging £5 an hour for my PT sessions. Yeah, proper kick in the teeth, that, innit? Literally. Yeah, so then I kind of like, I was actually getting results with these women, which is quite rare, isn't it, to get results with I suppose that type of like genre of people, because they're known just for eating just what they eat, aren't they? And it's very oil based and everything like that. But I realized that, like, sitting down with them and actually speaking to them, you can actually get so much more out of it. And from that, I was just like, I could definitely help so many more people than just these women here. Like, it was the same women every single day, came to the same classes, did the same workout. I was just like, right, okay, I can do something. So I helped all them, and I was just like, listen, I need to like move myself up here. So I ended up going to a DW. In DW, I became very, very known very quickly. One, for being a Scouse person, and then secondly for being obviously very loud. I suppose that is the easiest way to describe me.
You never shy away at the back of the room, do you? Everyone knows you there.
No. Yeah. Obviously, walk in, hi guys. So yeah, I became very known very quickly, and I got very, very busy quickly as well. Like, really, but I was very, very proud of myself, because I genuinely went in there and I didn't know what was going to happen. Like, you don't, do you? You're paying £500 for rent. And then it's like, right, okay, I need to make this work. Like, I really, really do. And it's something similar to online. I knew I needed to speak to 30 people, even if it was just a hi. And then I had to have 15 good conversations that would then break down into like 8. Then I'd break it down into giving 3 sessions. And then so many people would end up signing up with me, etc. And I did it religiously, like literally to the point of I was working from 6 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, like 5 days a week. Yeah, it was rough. Yeah. But I genuinely believe that is where I've learned all my knowledge, and I've learned how to deal with people on different roles of life, like from being, you know, not very wealthy to extremely wealthy people, to go into their places and then talking to all their people who they have. And in DW, I actually did this big boot camp, which got a name very, very quickly, because obviously you can imagine me in the middle of a gym floor screaming at people, giving them everything that it was for. So yeah, from there, I just knew I wanted to do more. And then I was randomly just on Instagram, and I actually had like a business mentor at this point. He's called Lloyd Gordon. He owns M10. No, he doesn't. That's Mark Coles.
That's Mark Coles, isn't it?
Yeah. M3.
Oh, is it the MI40?
M3. No, M3. No, I've done a course with him. No, M3. So him, so Ben O'Donoghue and no, not O'Donoghue. Ben Cartwright and Lloyd Gordon, they own a gym in Manchester. Yeah. And obviously, because I've become close to people through the industry and etc. So he helped me out with like so many different things. And like I had a Facebook group like 7 years ago, like before they probably weren't even cool, like with people in it. So I kind of like, he was like, have you ever heard of Frontline Fit Performance Centre? I was just like, no, where is it? So he took me to it. And when we were walking past and the shutter was up, I'm thinking, that's a big gym, that looks pretty cool. He was like, try apply for it. Anyway, I didn't kind of go with it, but I started following them on Instagram. And I then decided to apply for UP. Yeah, I'm going to tell you anyway, because it is what it is. Let's just be truthful as fuck. It doesn't really matter. But I applied for UP, and I obviously got to literally like the last 2 interviews. And we'll say that we didn't agree on certain things. Yeah. So then they sent through that I obviously didn't get the job. But obviously at the time I was still a bit gutted, because I just thought, someone's giving you a bit of grief back, you should obviously like think, yeah, they've got something about themselves here. But he didn't. But which brings me on to FLF, where I literally went in, and the 2 owners, so James Largy and Ray and Akram, so we all call Ray and Akram Chach. He saw something in me again, and he was just like, you're going to go far and wide. Like, trust me, you are going to go far and wide. And then I worked at FLF for 1 year and 8 months, I think it was. And I left during the pandemic. Well, the pandemic stopped me from working, so I couldn't do anything, which meant that I had no income. So I had to do something about it. And then I became, one of my good friends is called Matt Rhodes. And basically he was just like, you can do this all online. Like, trust me, it's amazing. Then he helped me build my online business to a very good place. And then I joined AM, which is the current date.
Where you are now. Yeah, I think that was the first place I came across you. I don't think we had a conversation, but just saw you was at FLF when I was at one of the seminars. And then obviously Amy started there, didn't she? And you guys became quite good friends, and she was my coach at the time. So she'd be like, when we'd be chatting in chat, she'd be like, look what Lydia's fucking lifting today when you train it together. And it's just like some mad weight on the shoulder press or something. Like, fucking hell.
me, because obviously I realised that we started to train at the same time, and I was just like, fuck this, just train. We'll just train together. Like, it's both bodybuilding, whether I do one of your programs or I stick with your program, you stick with my program. It's still something. But you should ask Amy about the adductor. Ask Amy about the adductor machine. I swear to God, mate, we couldn't walk for like 2 weeks. I swear to God. Julie was like, what is this pain? I've never felt pain like it. We literally could not walk.
Just becomes the aim to write each other off.
Yeah, it was constantly a battle of like, I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Let's go. Like, 2 coaches training together in it. You physically get the best out of each other. Like, you know it's there.
Yeah,
but yeah, we could walk.
Massively. So let's jump into some of the questions, obviously, that we're here for. The first question that we always start with. Now, I feel like a bit of a fraud asking this morning, because you're on decaf this morning and I've not even got a coffee. I've come straight onto this from the gym, so I don't really want a coffee. So I'm on my EAAs like a fitness freak. So we'll do it anyway, though. No one's watching. We'll just say we've got a coffee each. And if everyone sees it on YouTube, I'll just CGI him, and it can't be that difficult. So, coffee, black or white? What's your preference? What would you go for?
White, 100%, but it's got to be oat milk.
Oat milk, yeah. Oat milk every time.
Got to be oat milk, yeah. Honestly, ever since having oat milk, I've never gone back, ever. Literally, like, never, ever. Even with my decaf now, I've got oat milk in it. It just tastes so good. And it's going to be, I like cappuccinos, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. I don't really have them. Oat milk I agree with, though, because besides normal cow's milk, that's the only other milk that mixes well. I've tried different milks in a black coffee, and it just sits on the top like a scum. It's rank.
Almond milk does that, and it doesn't look good.
No, it's not nice, is it?
And I like, because I don't mind drinking, the red cat milk. Is that semi-skimmed or skimmed? I don't freaking know the difference, mate.
The semi-skimmed is green, full fat's blue. So red, I think, it's going to be like 2% or something, is it?
Yeah, but I drink that in cups of tea. But like, say like if I've like been at home and there's been no red milk, I'll just put almond milk in it, and I swear to God, it is the most disgusting thing in all.
Just like dipping between mouthfuls.
Oh, it like curdles. I'm just like, nah, I will not have a brew for this. This is fine.
Is that your coffee of choice then, a cappuccino?
Yeah, I think so. I do love them. I think I just like the freaking chocolate on the top of it though, you know?
Yeah. That's the thing, like when I'm at home, I'll always have a black coffee. I'll only ever have a black coffee. But as soon as we go out somewhere, I'll always have like a flat white or something like that. My preference always changes.
Oat milk flat whites, they're really good. When Grace went and did her first triathlon, it was like a proper do, like there was loads of things there to do. And this like a coffee pod kind of thing, whatever, went to go get a coffee. And it said like flat white, oat milk, almond milk, and normal milk. So I went and I was like, oh, I'll try one of these then. I swear to God, it was the nicest thing I've ever tasted in my whole entire life. I've got them from like Costa, Caffè Nero, like other places. Just don't taste the same as that one that I had.
No.
I honestly, I wish I took a picture of it because it was so goddamn good.
I was going to say, can you remember what brand it was, or can you not remember?
No, not a chance. Literally not a chance. I'm sure after it, I went and got drunk. So whatever happened that day, happened that day.
Not a chance. You're going to be chasing that cup of coffee for the rest of your life now.
Yeah, every single triathlon place that goes, I'll be like, I'm jamming to this today.
Definitely. Bit more on topic then. Fitness industry wise. Obviously, cutting away from the coffee talk now. What would you say is your sort of specific area? Would you say you really have one? Because I know obviously you've spent a bit of time with your own training, a bit more bodybuilding, and now you're doing a bit more Olympic lifting. Would you say there's a specific area of the fitness industry that you fit into, or are you a bit of everything? So when it comes to working with clientele anyway? Working
with clientele, I like to make them, I advise them to do bodybuilding. Because I know bodybuilding, not inside out, but being at FLF, obviously the knowledge that you gain is just, it's unreal.
On, isn't it?
Yeah, and then I was with Cal as well, Cal Razrick, the muscle mentors.
Yes. So
I was with him for a really long period of time. And the knowledge that I gained from him, it was just like, but I understood it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's something that I really, really understand. Like functional fitness, I understand functional fitness. I understand lifting to a certain extent, but bodybuilding, it's like, no, I get that. So I'd say bodybuilding. I mean, I'm not definitely a bodybuilder. I'm far from it. I'm trying to build my body, but no, I'm not a bodybuilder.
Well, I think that's the thing, isn't it? When you sort of use the term bodybuilding, especially when we're working with Gen Pop clientele, it's that initial sort of drawback of, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. I don't want to get massive. And it's like, well, you're not. Unless you want to dedicate everything you've got for the next 10 years of your life, that ain't going to happen. So don't worry about it. But it is the most appropriate training for pretty much everyone who's just wanting to get in a bit better shape, improve the shape, cut the body fat down a bit. Because Olympic lifting is good fun. I've done it a bit in the past, but it's so complicated and it requires so much skill. And there has to be a foundation of skill and knowledge there before you even start doing it, doesn't there?
110%. It's because I'm quite, in regards to like upper body strength to lower body strength, my upper body strength is like it's just a lot more compared to what my lower body strength. I'm still strong on my lower, but my upper body is just like unreal. Like you said about Amy saying, look what Lydia's lifted on a shoulder press. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like my upper body strength is just unreal. So pushing anything above my head, I was okay with. Cleaning it, I was okay with. But the complex of it, like you have to video every single movement that you do. You can't not video it. Yeah. And then you have to slow it down to make sure that you're jumping at a certain point. If you're not jumping at a certain point, you've completely ruined it. Yeah. And I genuinely don't think I could sit and teach someone that. Like, I don't think it's doable. Like, if someone can't get their arms up into that position, right, so now I've got to release your lat. So I think what helped me massively was having the bodybuilding structure underneath me. Because when I first started training as well, I did squat, bench, and deadlift. That was what I did.
I think everyone does, doesn't it? Everyone goes through that routine.
Yeah. So I got so strong on bench. Like I was benching like 60 kg at like however old I was. Like I was strong. Like I could deadlift quite a lot and squatting not so much, but I got better and better. But I think having that foundation of I've built something, I can kind of go into it. It made it a lot easier. But for someone to just randomly go, right, I'm going to go Olympic lifting, I'd be like, don't recommend that. Would definitely recommend that you kind of go backwards and then like reverse engineer it kind of thing. You know where you want to be, but let's just reverse engineer this to make this the good point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. I totally agree.
We had that when I used to do S&C with the academy over at Wakefield with the young lads coming through there, about 15, 16-ish, or maybe they were 14 when they came into the academy. It was literally just a case of every gym session, we would spend so long on teaching them Olympic lifting movements. We'd start with broomsticks, but we'd get the PDFs through because the main coaches were like UKSCA accredited. So they'd use sort of the cues and the teaching points for the list from that. Your cues for even just like a power clean, there's like 20 odd cues to teach someone to nail it. And you're just like, there is so much to know. It is so complicated. So it's, I'm the same as you. It's not something that I very, very rarely program for a client unless they're coming into it with a good background and they already know what they're doing with that movement. It's
100%. I don't even think, even if someone came to me and we were an Olympic lifter, I'd just be like, listen, I know someone who's going to be able to help you so much more. Like I'd be willing to do their nutrition and, help the mindset and all that jazz. But I'd be like, someone else needs to do your program, and I'm just not as good as it.
Oh, totally. Yeah, if that was their main goal to improve their Olympic lifts, I'd be the same. I'd be like, look, I'm not the person for you. I have one client that we do programming for, but she purely does them for enjoyment because she's not bothered about like pushing it. She just does it because she enjoys it. So I'm like, that's fine. And she's really good at it anyway.
Humbling. It's very humbling.
It is, isn't it?
Like really humbling. Like I don't know if anyone's listening that's ever done a snatch before, but fuck me, they're hard.
I cannot snatch to save I do not have the mobility in my lats to actually squat down with a bar above my head. My shoulders cramp up, my back cramps up. Oh, I can't do it to save my life. Yeah. Cannot do it. I think the heaviest,
it's like I was saying before, like if you don't get your jump correct, you aren't going down with that bar above your head.
No.
It's plain and simple. It's going forward no matter what. It honestly, it's so hard. Do you know what? Sometimes I sit there and question, I think, why the hell am I doing this? Like, I'm so annoyed when I do it as well. So I'm just like, why am I even doing it?
Yeah, but then when you do get those lifts, when you do hit those PBs, the sort of excitement and the pleasure you get back from hitting that with PBs, I think is so much more than when you're doing your standard bodybuilding lifts and movements and stuff like that. You get so much more back from it because of the challenge to actually achieve that, the requirements to make that.
Yeah, I think the one lift that, like, no matter what, like I could even go down in weight, but what makes me really happy is a clean and jerk. Is the one movement that I think, I like that movement. This is pretty cool.
Yeah, it does feel good. I used to do loads of more strongman based training back at the first ever gym I worked at. And I used to love that. Like, it was so much from a training point of view. That is the most fun I've ever had training, is doing like log pressing and Atlas stones and everything like that. It's just so much fun, but it does take such a toll on you. Like, you just come away with niggles all the time, but it was so much fun.
It's one type of training I've never tried,
Oh, it's amazing. Honestly, if you've got anywhere that's got access to it, like even just a log press, a yoke carry, farmer's walk, it's class. But the stones are so much fun.
Yeah. I feel like I'd end up breaking my back or something. So,
have you ever used tacky that you use for the stones to help with grip? That? It's like a glue that you put on your hands and your forearms to help pick the stones up to actually grip them properly. It makes you feel like Spider-Man. It's incredible, but getting it off afterwards, you literally take off like your top layer of skin, having to scrub it off. It's absolute pain. But it's brilliant.
See, this is why I'm not trying it. There's always a reason, always a reason.
So, moving on. Big question number one. What would you say is right with the fitness industry? What would you say the top things that are good about it currently?
From my perspective, obviously, now this is going off my followers and who I follow and what I look at.
Yeah, relative to you.
The mental health side. Yeah, the mental health side of it. The fact that it's becoming more of this isn't just to get you in shape, it's actually for your mental health. That's probably one of the main things that I can take away right now and go, this is one of the best things that's ever happened to the industry, is that it can actually help your mental health. And it isn't just a case of, we're training to get fit and healthy and we're doing this, and we're doing that. It's actually going to help your mental health. And as a byproduct, you're going to get in shape. As a byproduct, you're going to gain muscle. As a byproduct, you can go do many different things. So I'd say the mental health side of it.
Yeah, because I saw you did a course on that recently, didn't you? You went on a seminar for that.
Yeah.
How was it?
Yes. It's a 2-day full course. It's a accredited as well. So like I'm now a mental health exercise coach. So I can just go that little bit further. It's a really good course, you know.
Yeah.
So mental health. So MHEC. That's what it is. MHEC. There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, he's really good. He's fantastic as well, Dan.
Yeah, yeah. I've never come across it before. I just saw it on your story sharing across that you'd been to do the seminar for a few days, and I know you put on that it was the best seminar that you've done this year.
100%. I've done a lot of seminars, but that is by far it's the best seminar that I've done. Because it just opens your mind up to go, do you know what I say to my clients is actually okay. But there's just so many other realms that you can go down, and, you know, let's be honest, like during the pandemic, everyone realized that they had some form of mental health issue, or the mental health was targeted a little bit. So something needed to kind of be done. People started to prioritize themselves more. And, you know, reality is we are the center of our own universe. So we're not looking after us. Nothing else is going to fucking work. No. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter if you're dieting or you're doing this, you're doing that. It's not going to work. You need to physically be okay in your own head and in your own body. So I just think throughout all of this, it's like mental health is okay. It's okay. You're okay. Do you know what I mean?
Massively. I think, because during the lockdown, when I was talking to clients, I think the one thing that did was really magnify for people if they had some, like you said, if they had some sort of pre-existing mental health issue or challenge or whatever it was, when life's normal, if it's not really bad, like some of the clients I've spoken with, they were able to just be like busy themselves with work, take the mind off of it, sort of, you know, not really spend any time focusing on it because there's so much going on. But what the lockdown did was literally just know you're now sat in a room, there's nothing for you to do. You need to deal with this now. And it did make it a lot worse for people. But like on the same side, it made a lot of people realize that I need to sort this out. I need to do something about it, which was massively 100%. Massively beneficial for a lot of people, which is good.
A lot of people found themselves as well during the time. And I think, you know, one of the main things that I think everyone actually started to feel. But do you know where, like, say, for example, Bob down the road stressed, that doesn't mean that you and I are stressed at the same time as him. During the pandemic, it was like everyone is stressed. Everyone is going through something that we all don't know. We don't know if we're going to come out of it. We don't know if we're staying in it. We don't know if, you know, X, Y, Z. And people went through different levels of stress. Like, I don't know if when you started your online coaching, but like I went into the pandemic going, I'm not going to earn money. I fucking don't know what I'm going to do. I've got a mortgage. I've got my own mouth to feed, Grace's mouth to feed, Coco's to feed. It was a case of what the hell am I meant to do? Like, I'm literally having no money. I think I had like 3, 4, 5 clients online at the time.
Yeah.
I think I was charging like £100 a month, if that. Like, it was, do you know what I mean? It was like, I need to do something. Where people who were, you know, like, for example, like my dad, he carried on working. So he just had, his wage was still going on. His life really didn't change as much. And then, for example, other people got 20% of the wage taken off them. So everyone went through stress at the same time.
Yeah.
So their mental health, mental health, like itself was like, okay, well, mine's really, really bad today. Mine's not as bad today. Mine's fucking extreme. What the hell do I need to do? Yeah. And I think people being online and doing all the things that they did, I think it helped people a lot more. And that's why the health and fitness industry now, I think, it's got a bit of a better name compared to what it did have, because of what us coaches did during that time. I did from, I think it was end of April, beginning of May. I think it was actually the beginning of April, maybe middle of April. I did a full free class throughout the whole of the pandemic.
Yeah.
I did it 5 days a week. Started off 5 days a week, and then it went to 4 days a week, and then it stayed at 4 days a week. I literally did a free hit session every other day.
Yeah, that's class.
Because really, it was like, this is going to make me accountable to someone else.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even someone else. Like, we had like 40, 50 people on them.
That's a lot of people.
100, got all the emails though, didn't I, mate?
Straight onto the email chain.
But obviously through it, I was just like, I'm doing good here. But they didn't realise throughout the time that they were actually keeping my head above water so much.
Yeah.
Like, they were helping me.
Giving you purpose to get up and carry on working every day.
100%. And like, obviously Grace was working fucking 70 hours per week back then, because obviously she was doing the job that she did. And obviously now she's a coach, but she was working like 70 hours per week. So it's, you know, you got to look at it so much. It was like, I was going through stress, but then I weren't working 70 hours per week. I was just trying to build an online business and be on Instagram at all times and walking the dog. Like, you put mine and her life in a thing. It was like, well, her life was fucking well more stressed than mine. I was like at home having a nap or doing a HIIT session or doing some, do you know what I mean? So I think the health and fitness industry for me has gone up in a lot of people's minds in terms of like, it's become, I actually want to look after myself, and it's not as bad as people think. It isn't a case of, you know, before when you were saying bodybuilding, well, I don't want to be a bodybuilder. It's not like that anymore. It's like, no, actually, we're going to fix you. We're actually going to make you like a fucking individual that you actually want to be. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
To fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I was pretty much in the same position as you when lockdown hit. So I remember I was sat on the couch. I was meant to be opening up at the gym the next morning. And Boris came on and took us all into lockdown. Everything was shut. And I was literally sat on the couch like, right, okay. So at that point, I think I had about 3 or 4 online clients. I'd only just started doing it. And I had mainly one-to-one clients, some in York, some in Leeds. And we were living in York at the time. And I was literally sat on the couch like, right, what do we do? I was like, I'm going to have to push everything online. So like, literally, I had family members ringing me like, if you need money, just let us know. We'll help you out. We'll support you. And I was like, it's cool. I've got this. I can work this out. And it was just straight away a case of all my one-to-one clients in the Facebook group. It was like, right, guys, we're going online. This is how it's going to work. I've already got something semi set up. And then it was just the first month of lockdown for me was like, right, we need to make this online stuff work and we need to make it efficient. And then it just ran from there. And like you said, it surprised me how receptive people were to it at the beginning of lockdown, just because you're like, well, if people aren't earning anything, they're not going to have anything available to invest. And obviously then there's no work coming in for us, but it didn't go like that at all, thankfully for us, but then really good for everyone else, because then this shift became of focusing on mental health. And it wasn't even a case then of during the lockdowns of, right, even though we could, and we did with some people, like, let's get you leaner, let's get you fitter, whatever it was. It was just a case of, let's just keep you sane. Let's just get you moving. Let's make you happy, 100%. Make you feel productive, and we'll work through it until things go back to normal, which took a while. But yeah, it was mad. It was literally just a case of sat on the couch like, right, time to change, time to adapt and just go. I don't even think, looking back at the time, I was like, no, I'm not stressed. I'm fine. I can sort this out. But looking back, it's like, I just don't think I gave myself, I was stressed. I just didn't give myself time to sit and think about it. I was just like, just crack on and get it done.
I really, really agree with that, because I know this is going to sound bad, and obviously anyone that's listening, I don't want anyone to take offense from it, because I don't really talk about the pandemic much, because I didn't suffer during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I really, really didn't. If anything, I think the pandemic made me a little bit stronger. I think it made me realise the potential that like you can actually have.
Yeah.
And I just didn't suffer as much as some of my very, very close friends did.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. I was the same. And you almost feel guilty saying it, don't you? Because there were so many people that were so hard hit, and it would just fuck so many people over. You feel bad saying that. Actually, it was, I've made a joke about it to a few of my clients before, that gyms shutting down was the best thing for business that ever happened to me. And you feel bad. And it's not obviously to ridicule anyone else. It is just a fact that forcing everything online, I absolutely love it. And I love it so much more than I ever did with one-to-one. And it's runs so much better.
100%. And it did we'll go on to that in a minute, but it did the one thing that probably you and I weren't doing, and we weren't leaving our comfort zone. We were like, we're happy here.
Yeah.
Like, I'm training, I'm in a good gym, like it's nice, you know, good friends, good banter. I'd stay here, but you know, I'll challenge myself every now and again. It was like the world was just like, not today, Sonny Jim, we're gonna push you right out of that comfort zone.
Deal with it.
They were like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was very big to adapt. Very, very big. And you know, I think for anyone that is listening or even watching, you all need to take a massive, just a realization and actually say like how proud you are of yourself, because you have come so fucking far. We've been through 18 months of hell, essentially. Like Australia have gone back into one, they're now coming back out of it in October. Like, they've only been in it for 3 months. We were doing it for 18 months. So just take that into consideration. 18 months of stress, not knowing what to do, just not having clarity on anything. So for me, you should actually congratulate yourself. So that's a massive congratulations from me.
100%. I love that. Yeah, really, really love that. It's really important. And it just to take that time to actually appreciate what you've dealt with and how you've actually managed to navigate something that, like, for us, has never happened in our lifetimes before. Fingers crossed, isn't going to happen again. It couldn't.
Everything crossed.
Everything crossed.
Everything crossed. Everything.
But yeah, no, 100% agree with that. Really, really agree with that. So let's flip it then. And let's ask the question that Amy was like, it's so difficult not to go into a rant with this one. What would you say is wrong with it? What's some of the worst things about the current fitness industry relative to your area?
Again, I feel like you could literally...
It's like a tightrope walk, this one, isn't it?
Yeah, like you could cause so much shit. Like, fuck me, James Smith caused a massive rift in the fucking industry that from one...
He did bodybuilding one, didn't he? From that one post.
One post he caused fucking hellfire. But it did him justice, you know, so maybe I should do something like this. Right, let's go.
Go against the crowd, stand out.
Yeah. I think just like you said before, the whole realm it's got around, because obviously, like I said, bodybuilding is just something that, like, that's what I ask my clients to do. It's what I advise my clients to do. I get them strength train, I get them to build their body. So, like you were saying before, I think just the utter bullshit that is attached to bodybuilding, and yeah, just the utter bullshit that's out there, like, because you can go into the nutrition side of it. Okay, well, there's Slimming World, there's Weight Watchers, there's keto, there's this, but then there's like you and I, or you, Amy does it completely different now, isn't it? But like, there's 101 ways to skin a cat, and I just think people forget that. And it's like, no, you can only do this one way. It's like, well, no, I can't do it 101 ways. So it just depends upon the person. But people are very, no, it's this way or nothing. It's this or nothing. You're not allowed to eat after 6 p.m. Fuck off. Yeah, you can.
Fucking, it's ridiculous, isn't it?
And you can have carbs in the morning if you want. Yeah, it's gonna alter a couple of things, but does it matter? No, because you don't fucking eat. So it's okay for you to eat carbs in the morning. Like, it's sound. You don't need to eat beef mince, fucking spinach and cashew nuts. You don't need to do that. It's like you said before, like, unless you want to be a bodybuilder and literally give your life to it, like Cal does, like Josh Bridgman does, like TM Cycles does, like all them people, like, they give their life to bodybuilding because that's what they want to do. Not so much cycles anymore, but do you know what I mean? Like, you don't need to do all these things. If you want to be a better version of yourself, lose weight, learn how to actually understand nutrition a little bit better, go into the gym and actually think, yeah, I can do this. Start to look at yourself in the mirror and think, I look fucking good, and actually have a bulletproof mindset. It's like, you just need to just build your body. That's all you need to do. You just need to get better at it. Get better at the basics.
You just need to be 1% better every day. That's all you need to be doing. And it's like, I get clients, when we're sort of doing the consult call and talking about the programming and what's sort of going to be coming up for them, when we get onto nutrition and we've gone through the training potential, that, you know, I've had it so many times. You've probably had it yourself, where they're like, I'm happy to eat like chicken and rice if you want me to. I'm happy to have this if you want me to. And I'm like, well, do you like it? And they're like, well, it's a bit boring. And I'm like, well, we're not going to eat it then. Like, why would I program something for you not going to eat? And it's like, I always say to my clients, like, they always get a meal plan. I'll always do them one, but it's always with the point of, do not stick to this meal plan. Like, this is an example of how you can structure your food. If you want to use it for the first week to get yourself off to a good start, that's cool. But if by week 3 or 4, you're still only eating on this meal plan, we're changing things up, because that is not how we're running it. And even with some of them, I'll program them to go out for a meal every week, because I'm like, I don't want you getting into the mindset that you have to stay on this plan. And if you don't eat everything on this plan, it's going to go to shit. So go out for a meal this weekend, enjoy yourself, and realize that you can still have fun and you don't have to stick to some meal plan. But like you said, there are people in the industry that, I'm going to have to be careful here, but who have potentially competed for the first time, decided that they are now a coach, and basically just gone copy and paste from the plan that I had for my competition. There's your nutrition plan. Off we go. And you see it so often, and it is infuriating.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And another thing as well is it's funny because it's something that I don't have like a big kind of like, oh my God, you shouldn't do that about 12-week transformations.
No,
I don't think there's enough information given out before you kind of say this can be a 12-week transformation. Like, because I always say to people, like, how long is it taking you to get to where you are right now? like with the weight that you are.
A hell of a long time.
Oh, they're like, oh well, it's been like, you know, I think probably like 3 years, or I'm like, so why do you think 12 weeks is going to take away 3 years of building utter shit? Like, how do you think that's going to happen? Like, well, I've seen it before with X amount. It's like, yeah, so do you want to eat like no food and possibly gain an eating disorder, or you know, be towards something? It's like, so that's where my only issue with 12-week transformations kind of comes in, where it's like you have so much more potential to gradually bring yourself down to the point where it won't be a before, after. It won't be that kind of thing. It'll be an actual case of, no, this is a before and after, and now this is you living your fucking best life.
Yeah.
So it's something similar to what we've literally just said, though, isn't it? It's like there's just 101 ways to skin a cat.
Totally. Yeah, totally.
People don't tell you. So
no, I think that's it as well with like the 12-week stuff. It needs to be done with the caveat that whoever's starting it is already in a good place to begin with, and they know exactly what's coming. But then I always think as well, like there should be a minimum of, the diet, whatever you do, that's 12 weeks. But then you are still going to be staying with me for at least 4 weeks afterwards, so we can get you back to a healthy point. Because if you just get someone to that photo shoot condition or whatever and then leave them and say, see you later, that is just a recipe for disaster, isn't it?
It's the most, it's like people who compete and do photo shoots. The most important part is the after part. Getting someone lean is very easy. Like, we all know it's easy. We all know it's a case of variables being dropped and blah blah, or upped and blah 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 blah. It's very, very easy and simple thing, and making that person believe in themselves, right? It's the after part that you fucked up on, because people can literally ruin themselves because your hormones just don't work. Your leptin, your ghrelin are just like, don't know where I am, so I'm just going to chill for a little bit. And it's literally, like, if they're not working, you don't know if you're full. You don't even know if you're hungry. You're just fucking nowhere. So I always actually make people, the minute they've done a photo shoot with me or even competed with me, they have to stay with me 6 months after it.
Yeah. I love that. That's class.
Contract, 3 months. 3 months. It's a contract that you have to sign. You're doing a photo shoot, you want to do this. This is you saying that you want to do it, because I can do them. But you've then got to stay with me 3 months after it, because I am not having you fuck up the after part, because that's where people fuck up.
Yeah. It's so easy to do, isn't it? Like you said, leptin's out all over the place, ghrelin's all over the place, your sex hormones are just gone, like gone.
What's a libido? Literally. I don't know what that is. No, it isn't good. I'll tell you, this is a story. This is literally going to be probably one of your longest podcasts. Me and Grace did a photo shoot in 2019, and literally, so we did it on like let's say the 18th, right? And then on the 19th, we were going to Ibiza for 10 days for an all-inclusive holiday for a wedding, right? So we did our photo shoot, and then we went abroad 10 days. Grace came back 10 kilograms heavier.
Wow.
It was, do you know what though? It was just pure water. I think over like 4 or 5 days, she lost like 4 pounds each day. It was just, it was mad. But the minute she came back, it was a case of she literally just got back into cardio. It was like, right, I need to do exactly what I did just before the photo shoot. And it was like, right, no, we need to switch this up. But I felt victim to it too. I was just like, right, okay, I need to start doing cardio again. I need to go back onto the old food that I was on. It was like, so we're that 10 days of drinking, eating, just doing whatever I wanted, fucking strawberry daiquiris, living my best life. Literally, it's like that completely. And then I'm going back into a massive deficit. It was just like,
your body's literally just be like, what is going on?
Really fucked your body up. Literally, really fucked it up.
But that is, to be fair, well, like what you've just said, that is fairly common. Like I've heard that, well, I don't know if it's common, but I have heard it from a few people who post show or post photo shoot within weeks have gained just kilos and kilos back because they have just gone straight back to eating whatever, or even binge eating in some cases, like proper, obviously restricting for that long and then just gone for it.
I think the difference between obviously photo shoot and competing, it's massive.
Yes.
It's huge.
100%.
It's huge. Like I can diet people and get people very, very lean on like 1,400 calories. And that still be like, I'm still like, that's really fucking low, you know? Like we did this isn't good. And then someone who's competing eating like 700, 800, it's like, that's not good.
No,
that is
dangerous.
Really, like, my breakfast probably is that as a whole. So fuck knows what you're meant to do for the rest of your day. But I always worry about people who compete. Really, really do. I always think, are you even mentally stable to do that? Like, your life is just fucking, I don't even know.
Well, then that comes back around to James Smith's post, doesn't it? In sort of along the lines of what he was saying. And I think there's going to be truth to that with some people, like everything. There's going to be a lot of cases where that isn't the case. But yeah, I am very similar to you when you see how some people approach it. It does make you sort of concerned for them in a sense, in that sense.
Do you know what? I suppose that it kind of links with like being the elite. If you want to be the elite, you've got to do elite kind of things.
You do, yeah.
You're not going to do.
Yeah, massively.
As my group circle, who really aren't really into the gym, in terms of like my other friends who like just don't go really to the gym, like, they go just because of mental health issue, like they go because it's like good for your mental health and blah blah blah. Like they just like, oh no, I just wouldn't fucking do it. Like, I think it's fucking weird. So it's one of those, isn't it? It's definitely it's one of them. Yeah.
So what would you say, if you had to pick one thing, is commonly like misunderstood by people in the fitness industry?
Nutrition.
Yeah.
Nutrition.
Just in general, just all of it.
Yeah, just nutrition. I think because I've done MNU.
Yes.
So I think when you kind of like do that, because I'm not gonna lie, like, Jesus Christ, there's no point, is there? When I first got into this industry, I was just like, this is what I need to do. This is what I need to eat. So everyone else needs to eat that. And I just used to repeat, no, you just need to eat this, this, and this, and this, and this. We all make mistakes, don't we? So it's fine. But when I went into MMU, I learned so fucking much. So much. Like, it literally, if you want to lose weight and you're just an average human being, you literally only need to worry about your calories.
Yeah, literally.
Protein can come into it, but if you just want to lose weight, and I mean, if you want to look like a melted candle, then don't worry about protein. Just worry about your calories. The moment you are in a calorie deficit and you are looking after your sleep, do you know what I mean? Like, everything else, you're moving more, your activities up and your training, blah, 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 you will literally lose weight. It's that simple. Yeah. So nutrition, because people fucking come in and flip it upside down. They're like, no, you need to not eat carbs. Trust me. Sharon, put coconut oil in your coffee. It will make you lose shitloads of weight. It's like, no, it fucking won't.
Literally, yeah.
No, it won't. It just really won't. But nutrition is the one thing.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that, like these nuances of nutrition with people being like, oh, you need coconut oil in your coffee, or you only eat high fat. I think sadly a lot of that, it doesn't come from a place of research or effectiveness. It just comes from a place of marketing. Have some sort of unique product that no one else can replicate and just sell the dream to people on it. And I think that's where a lot of the issues come in with it. But it's funny what you say that, because when I got into online coaching, I was coaching with Ryan from the Muscle Mentors at the time. It was great. Yeah, it was great. They were really, really good. So obviously with those guys, you're tracking your protein, your carbs, your fats, fibers, everything like that. And again, I fell into the guilty trap of, okay, this is how it's done. This is what you track. And so then for clients that I had, it was like, right, this is your protein, this is your carbs, this is your fats, this is how much fiber we're going to be having. And it's just been a slow, almost degeneration over the last few years from going from that to like, okay, let's just look at protein and calories. And then it's like, okay, let's just set a nice protein range and then let's just have a calorie range. And it's just got like simpler and simpler, and it's worked better and better and better every single time.
It's one of them, innit? Like, because if I was to come under you, you wouldn't do that for me. You'd be like, no, this is your calories.
Relative to the person.
100%. And I think depend upon the person. This is why having calls with people is so important. So important. Like, you need to physically have a call with someone because you need to get to know them.
Yeah.
Like, you really do. And then sooner or later you'll hear that people have done like X diet and they've done this diet and they've only done Herbalife, and you're thinking, right, okay, what I need to do with you is just give you your calories first.
Yeah.
Or even give you a food example template. This is what I would totally recommend that you eat. You don't need to worry about anything. Just make sure you get that in. This is your calorie range. And then what we're going to do after X amount of weeks, we're going to completely revamp this up, and then we're going to get you to track your food, and we're going to only worry about your calories. Once they've got used to my fitness pal, you can go, right, now what we're going to do, we're going to make you actually target your protein, so you can literally wait back up. But I do always end up making them track the calories and protein depending on the person, but then I do like to make sure the protein, carbs and fats are hit.
Yeah, I do as well. Now it's pretty much a standard. It'll get to a point if it doesn't start on it of calories and protein, and it becomes a common question of, do I need to eat, how many carbs do I need to eat out of that? Does it matter how much fat I have? And I'm like, it does not matter. Like, obviously for some, like you said, for some people it will matter, like if it's that higher level of training or they've got those higher level goals, but for the majority of people, I'm like, it honestly does not matter. Hit your protein, hit your calories, however many carbs and fats you have within those calories ain't going to make a blind bit of difference for what we're doing. And
I think just educating people though, like you're actually educating them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and we can say carbs and fats don't matter, but it's like saying to them, but do you aim for fats in your meals because hormone regulation, you want your hair to look good, like vitamin solubles, like, you know what I mean? As long as you can give them that like information, and then you say, just send me something, blah blah blah, send me some of your food diary, and then you look at your food, you think, they're fucking listening, they're actually understanding it, they actually get it, and that's when you can be like, I've been a good coach.
100%. So what would you say then works well in the fitness industry right now? What do you say is, I suppose we've already really touched on it in terms of the lockdown and everything. Is that what you'd say?
100%. With mental health and lockdown, 100%.
Yeah. That's what I'm gonna say. We've already covered that one then. So who would you say, this is more like a question if there's any coaches sort of listening, who have been your top 2 mentors through your process?
Callum Raisrick and obviously Phil Graham now.
Yeah. I suppose it covers everything for that as well. Obviously, you've got Cal for the training and nutrition, and then you've got Phil for everything business.
Yeah. Literally, business is his best friend. But yeah, Cal Raisrick and Phil Graham, 100%.
Yeah. Cal's smashing it in here right now. When you see how well his guys are doing, literally.
I don't think he sleeps me. I don't
think he does.
Like, because his check-ins were fucking in depth, mate. Like, they were proper in depth. So I always think he's got so many clients. So fuck knows how the hell he gets through all them. Like, he could just do leverage coach of all that. Not a chance. Not a chance.
Yeah, but they were saying that because obviously he used to coach at FLF, didn't he, for a little bit?
Yeah.
And I think it was James on one of the seminars was saying he would like literally just be, if he wasn't training, he was on his phone or his laptop, whether it was at the gym, whether it was home, just constant, just working. Like, you've got to respect it. And the guys the whole platform itself, like Muscle Mentors, is just class, isn't it? It's so good.
Do you know where like you meet someone and just like, you need to be seen by someone. You need to be seen by someone. You need to be given just great things because you're an amazing human being. That is Cal.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't know. Yeah. Or like say for example with me, I went through a bit of a dodgy stage towards like the back end of my photo shoot. I couldn't go to the toilet, and he literally used to come to FLF and just drop tablets off for me. Like, who does that?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like that's a good person who's like, try this. And then I eventually went to the toilet, by the way, just to let you know.
I remember you telling me, I think you told me about this a few weeks before my shoot when we were doing one of the posing ones. I remember you telling me about that.
I went to the toilet. Yes, I did.
Did I?
Yeah, no, but he's a legend. He really is. The whole of the Muscle Mentors are like Paul, Ryan, just all of them, Alex, just literally all of them. They're all fantastic.
Yeah, they are. They're all class. And like I say, when I was with Ryan, I was only with him for a short amount of time, to be fair, about 12, 16 weeks-ish, but the actual service and the level of detail and the knowledge and stuff you pick up, it was just class.
But like, obviously for people who's listening, and if you are a general population person, they probably aren't the right coaches for you.
No.
They're coaches. That's who they are. They are coaches. 100%. They aren't for general population people.
No.
Not in my eyes anyway.
No, I'd completely agree. But then they'd say that themselves as well. They would say that themselves, and they're not necessarily Gen Pop. Maybe like more Alex and Ryan, but certainly Cal. Cal's not Gen Pop anymore.
No, he is. He competes with people, and that is it. Or photo shoots all the time. That is it.
Yeah, literally. So before we wrap this up, then, do you want to just drop us your social media tags, where people can find you, where they can go follow you, and get the daily advice of hydrate before you caffeinate, which we haven't even mentioned yet, crazily enough.
So my Instagram is @Lydia's PT. That is it. That's probably the only one that you need. Well, I suppose you could like add me on Facebook, which is just Lydia Halliwell. And then I do have a page on Facebook as well. I'm pretty sure it's called Lydia's. Don't know what it's called. because I don't go on it. I go on my normal Facebook now and post through that. But maybe it's called like Lydia's Training and Nutrition, possibly. Who knows?
Yeah, something like that. But Instagram's definitely the best place. And you are, to be fair, very, very active, aren't you? You're always on it.
Yesterday I went, but yeah, I am. Yeah, I like it.
The results as well that you put a few on the other day, and like the results that you've been getting with guys is just guys and girls, but it's just phenomenal. Like genuinely so impressive.
Thank you very much.
So before we leave, do you want to leave us with something inspirational? Basically, what's the one thing that you would say to someone who is struggling right now to maybe even start making progress towards their goals, or they are doing something but they're not seeing the progress? What's the one thing you'd say to someone?
Trust yourself. And just start. Trust yourself and just start, because if you don't, all you're gonna do is just think, what if? I'm living a life of thinking, what if?
Yeah,
that's it.
Back yourself.
You don't start. Back yourself. Fucking love yourself. Back yourself, and know that. Because if you don't do it, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You're not gonna succeed. All right, okay, Sam. Don't do it again.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, love it. Absolutely brilliant. Lydia, thank you very much for coming on. It's been a pleasure.
You're good, mate. I mean, I've not rambled too much.
No, not too bad, actually. Not too bad. Just enough. But yeah, thank you very much for coming on, and I will speak to you soon.
Nice one, my dude. See you later.
Cheers.